You can open.
Me?
Sure.
Hey, welcome back to another Getting Together podcast. It's us, Jeremy Brinkerhoff, Raylene Challinor. We are so excited you are getting together with us today. We have special guests for you, but we're going to wait and tell you who that is in a minute.
Yes.
Jeremy, you are looking fly this morning.
Yes, I'm very poppy. It's a very poppy wow shirt.
Yeah,
and then
it
we
is.
didn't really coordinate this beforehand, but also
Look at
in a
this.
very floral poppy wow,
Flora,
you know?
fauna,
Does a lot
vintage.
of
It's felt.
Is it vintage?
It
It's
is.
felt. Okay.
Yeah.
So we could stick you to like a flannel graph.
I'd probably stick.
Right on.
That'd be a fun experiment.
Excellent.
Yeah, Stepping Stones thrift store. Love
okay.
it. Oh my
Nice.
gosh, one of my favorites. And
Excellent.
so, yeah, you know, Andy said I got a bargain. It was $2.99.
Nice. So the jacket I was wearing last week was $1. I found it for $1.
Are we going to do
like
this?
a glove.
Are we going to like
So-
try and one up each other at the thrift store?
I
That'd be
can
fun.
outthrift you.
I don't think it can be done.
I probably couldn't. But I got that one at the with the veterans.
Oh, yeah, the DAF? Is that one? The DAV?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
That one's good
It
too.
spells thrift wrong, but it's
Yes.
like intentionally. Like
It is.
Thrift.
It's intentional. Yes.
Thrift.
Uh-huh.
Anyway. So
And we digress.
So there's all kinds of fun things here in Prescott
Yes,
where you can
there are.
go shopping and
Yes.
get great deals
Right. Yep.
at your thrift store.
Yeah.
But so Raylene.
Yeah.
Last week's show.
Yes, it was fabulous.
It was fabulous. It was a good time.
Uh-huh.
And we opened up with talking about different places we want to go.
Right.
And someone reached out to you and said, hey, if your co-host,
Yeah.
meaning me,
That would be you.
is ever in the area,
Right.
I could teach him how to be a man. That's kind of how I...
That's kind of what he said.
I kind of read between the lines.
A little bit.
Like all these adventure-y type things and like, oh, and by the way, maybe I could teach him how to like...
Chop
you know,
wood.
chop wood.
That's what he said.
And so it started this thing in my head. Like people have these misconceptions. And so
Right.
today we're going to talk a little bit about
A little bit.
misconceptions.
I think it'd be fun. It'd be
so
funny.
What are some misconceptions about you that you find people consistently
Okay.
are like misjudging you or
Yes.
putting you in a box?
Oh my goodness. Don't put baby in the box. You
No.
can put her in the corner, but don't put her in the
Don't
box.
put her in a box. Don't put her in the box.
A good one is I think I am perceived
Yes.
to be a little high maintenance. Okay,
Oh,
because
okay.
my hair, I love the makeup, I like to get my nails done. I love fashion.
Okay.
Those things that maybe I don't have any chutzpah behind me. It's all just flash and not a lot of the chutzpah. But I will tell you this, my friend.
Yes.
I got chutzpah.
Yes. In spades.
I can rough it with the best of them and have
Okay.
done.
So not just chutzpah in like this thing of like moxie and having this thing, but,
Yeah.
but actually like if you had all those things taken away,
Yep.
you would still know how to run your life.
Yep.
Nice.
I was taught by the best. So, yeah, at 17, went 3/4 of the way around the world to Papua New Guinea. Didn't know a soul.
Yeah.
Just joined this team in California and off I went. There's not a lot of fear. I don't have a
Okay.
lot of fear.
Okay.
So, but I can rough it in the bush. Did the Canadian wilderness for what? Like a whole summer. Built my own house. Me and Andy.
Boom. Out of woodchucks.
Yes. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck?
I don't know.
Well,
We'll have
he
to tackle
can't.
that on another
so.
day.
Yeah. So, I think that is at times a
Yes.
misconception of moi.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And yourself, Jeremy?
Well, it definitely goes back to that thing, right?
The wood chopping?
This whole wood chopping thing, and I actually, I think it came up it was so raw in me. Still, there's
was
still a
it?
tender place when I was first married to Marissa.
Yes.
We're in this little apartment and actually had a wood burning fireplace.
Yeah.
And I was working at the bank just as an interim job. I'm still at the airport. I'm doing stuff with school, and so I have this job as a teller. So this guy just assumes that because
You're in a suit.
I'm a suit and I'm a bank teller and I have noodle arms that I don't know how to do anything.
Right.
So he's like, hey, I have all this extra wood. If you want to come out and chop it, you're more than welcome to it for your apartment.
Yeah.
And so
Oh,
I'm like,
how
okay, great.
sweet.
So that was really nice of him. But
Yeah.
I think it was really more for his amusement because he's going to like watch this.
He's gonna sit
this-
back with
this-
the beer
oh, yeah, this,
and watch
this poor
you.
little kid just struggle. So I go out to his property and there's all his wood. And it's literally, I mean, he says to me, so this is an axe? And I'm like,
Sorry.
Oh my gosh. Seriously, dude. Like so I start chopping wood. Like I'm chopping wood.
Out of my way.
And he is super shocked. And like, I can't believe it. He goes, so you actually know how to work. Well, and like, so then it got even worse. Like, not only do you not know what tools are, but you don't even know how to work. So I'm like, that's my misconception. There's people who completely and always just like, because I'm tall and thin, they think I can't do things.
I don't know if it's because you're tall and thin, Jeremy.
No,
I don't think it's because you're tall and thin.
Okay, then what is it? Now I'm hurt.
Okay, but Bear Grylls, right? Does he have all this? He's this? He's tall, he's thin.
No, he's not tall, is he?
Oh, is he not?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, the camera adds 3 feet, I don't know, because he looks tall. And he, the manscaping, this is what.
But why? Why does it have to then equate to like, that guy can't do anything?
I don't know. That is, I'm very sorry for you for that.
So I try because in another instance.
There's got to be many.
In another instance, the only other one, it's not true. It happens a lot. So we're gathering for prayer at like Thanksgiving or Christmas, and I go to hold hands with my brother-in-law.
Yeah.
And he works with his hands. He's just he's a guy, and I feel him kind of pause, and he looks over. He's like, "You have soft hands."
You have pastor hands.
I was like,
you got pastor hands.
I will go out with you anywhere, anytime, and I will outwork you. I have
arm
stamina.
Right now.
Stamina. Doggone it. So that is yes, that's where I'm.
Okay, but you just describe him. You go, okay, my brother, he's a guy. Well, you're a guy.
Well, because of these misconceptions, Ray.
Oh, he's a man's man, is what you're trying to say.
Well, and this is where, as a society, we've really done ourselves harm.
We've done ourselves an injustice.
Because the second I say man's man, people have an image of what that means.
Grant, last week.
Man's man. Doesn't know how to smile. Like, that's okay. Like that.
You do not want him to smile.
Because if I'm smiling, then somehow I don't know how to work.
Right. It's very true.
That's okay.
See, and so our misconceptions are kind of the same. I mean, I get the flaky, oh, you're flaky, and she's just, fun and flaky. I can go deep.
Yeah.
I can get very deep, and I can work.
Yeah.
I can live without
put your
amenities.
Head down and you can,
Yeah, I can make a hole out in the wilderness and, potty if I have to. We're digressing now.
Okay, that I won't do. But
yeah.
So then I guess as you were bringing up, what were some misconceptions or things that have proved not to be true about me that maybe you thought initially when you said, oh yeah, that guy?
Pretty much what you already said.
See, there you go.
Yeah, pretty much. That was it.
That's good.
Okay, what about me?
Honestly, so as we, I think the first time that we had you and Andy over for dinner, and we learned a little bit more about your story, you were with New Tribe Missions, super conservative.
Yeah.
I had this thing of like, she's just a wallflower, someone who would never like push ahead or who would never really be aggressive in a good or a bad way, you know what I mean? And so someone who would not really ruffle feathers or go outside the box, because that's some of the experiences I had with New Tribes myself.
Right.
Very quiet, conservative, female,
We're
that
just
kind of
the
thing.
Little women.
And that is not the case with you.
That is not the
case,
my friend.
You can push through some barriers, my friend. So that's some of those initial things.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
isn't that fun?
And we'll have to, I was also thinking, as this topic was sort of like marinating, that we'll have to tackle the Enneagram at some point.
Ooh,
because we do have different
you don't.
opinions
I do.
on this.
We'll save
and
that.
it is about misconceptions, and it's about putting people in a box. So
it is not putting people in a box. Okay.
Absolutely
anyway,
it is.
We've got guests.
Absolutely
They're waiting.
They
They're over
are
there.
waiting.
They're so cute. We've got 2.
For another day,
Yeah.
you'll have to tune in and hear about the Enneagram and why it's of the devil.
Is it good or is it evil?
I said it. Okay, it's
he
out.
Said it.
But
he's wrong. But
we're really excited to have a couple with us today. They are a dynamic couple, and they do a lot for our community,
really
and
like
they
them.
do a lot for just families in general.
Yes,
so
they do.
I'm excited to have them on, and their names are
Ken and Lisa May.
Ken and Lisa May. So without further ado, here are Ken and Lisa.
And we're back. We're back with Ken and Lisa May.
Hello.
Yes, welcome. Thank you for getting together with us.
Thank
you. See what I did there? Yes.
Well done.
Ken and Lisa May, how long have you guys been in Prescott?
2013 , so you do the math.
Okay,
No
math.
Almost 9 years.
This is why I'm pretty. I don't have to do math.
She sure is pretty.
Yes. Okay, so that's a long time. That's a good stretch.
Yeah.
But we want to know pre-Prescott, what'd you guys do? And then we will share with our getting together guests, listeners, viewers, what you're doing now.
So how far back pre-Prescott? Because I was almost 40 when we got here, so that's a lot of history.
Let's start with the story of you. So maybe the two of you, how you met.
Because that's really when life begins.
Oh, yeah,
isn't
absolutely.
it?
Yes.
That is when life begins. And you were mentioning there's a cake rumor and a devil woman. So I'm intrigued.
Yes.
So let's start. Yeah, let's start there.
He's the storyteller.
All right, let's hear it.
Storyteller. Okay, so here's the rumor.
Yeah.
Is that so I came to faith in college at ASU.
Okay.
At 21 years old. So prior to that, I would earn money dancing. Let's just put it that way. Okay. And I met Lisa.
This is the rumor? Or
This is
the
the
real?
rumor.
This is
This
the
is the
rumor.
rumor. And people wonder if it's true or not. And no one believes me no matter what I tell them. So I'll tell the story and then people will decide.
We'll do it ourselves.
So,
We'll be the jury.
no one has believed me no matter what I tell them. So,
Okay, so you're dancing
and
at ASU.
I had a habit. So I met Lisa at a bachelorette party. And I had a habit.
Wait a minute.
He was working it.
Hold on.
Bachelorette? Why were you there?
Can I tell the story?
Okay.
So I just made it a point to talk to the biggest tipper. I was the guy that came out of the cake. And Lisa was the biggest tipper. So
This is still the rumor, or is this real?
this is, well, like I said, it doesn't matter what I tell people. I'm just kidding, or it really happened. And nobody so it depends on how you phrase your question will determine whether or not you get the right answer.
Wow.
So people are like, you're kidding. Yes, I'm kidding. No, you're not. Yes, I'm really kidding. No, this really happened. Whatever. So,
Oh, my
I'm kidding.
goodness.
Yes, I am kidding.
Okay.
That's
All right.
Yes.
But that is a
That-
rumor
real.
that's out there.
That is a rumor that's out there
Sort of.
that
Started
a lot
that.
of people
Oh, I did.
believe. He
It was a joke. It was intended to be a joke. And
knew
it
I
was.
liked you.
And so it's
That's
hilarious.
awesome.
Like our staff at work, they look like.
Should
they
you
kinda
be here?
get- Right. Are you? Wow. So
I like that.
But I think there's probably a segment of Christian society. Like, you're kind of hoping that's true. Because
little
what a,
bit.
what a redemption
A little
story.
bit, yes.
Yes. Well,
That's
I actually know somebody in Prescott in church that was their story. Not the cake and all that, but they did that. They
Okay.
don't do that anymore.
They don't
Okay.
do that
No.
anymore.
So
you
there you
wouldn't
go.
want to see
That's
them
a
do it
shame.
anyway.
Okay.
Not this, maybe then, yes, but now no.
No. So then the real
So
story
there
of
is
you.
redemption.
Yes.
You want to tell the real story?
Yes.
So the real story is we lived in the same apartment complex in Tempe. And I met Ken's roommate, whose name is Tim.
Hi, Tim.
He was, we met at the hot tub
Uh-huh.
late at night.
And
Kind of
Tim,
like a bachelorette party.
and he looked like an underwear model. Like he drove the Ninja motorcycle. You know, this
Oh,
is
yeah.
the
Oh,
late
yeah.
90s.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Crotch
Yes.
rocket.
yes,
Yes.
crotch rocket.
Get that whole persona.
So we met in
Yes.
the hot tub,
Yes.
and he invited me to church.
Tim did.
Tim did.
And Tim at that time was doing terrible spiritually. Like he's ready to quit on God. And we're in college ministry and we're serious about our faith. And I said out loud, I said, that girl has been sent from the bowels of hell to drag you away from Jesus. I'll kill her.
You're the devil woman.
I
the
was
devil woman.
devil woman.
Hence the devil.
Yes.
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 To which
The
then
rumors,
he met
it doesn't
me.
even come close to this. The real story
The
is
real
so
story
much
is way
better.
better.
Way better.
It's just not as funny. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know.
So he meets me, and I'm like peace child with my two braids,
Hippie
Oh
chick.
my gosh, I could totally
little
see
hippie
that.
chick.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, maybe not. Because I show up to church, and that was the beginning of my faith. So
Okay.
it was through his invitation that I began to get to know Jesus.
Him.
Yes.
And then this gets fun. Yeah, I owe him my very wife,
Yes.
right? Like not that thing. You see that?
See what you did there.
I saw what I did there. So then that was in like August of '97 or so that you. I moved in December. I graduated and I moved to Tucson. I was dating a girl at the time, so we had the same circle of friends up at ASU, and I moved. And she got to become very good friends with the girl I was dating, who eventually moved to Tucson also. And I was a terrible boyfriend, like very selfish, very thinking about just what I'm doing. So we break up. She goes back up to Phoenix, and then she was your roommate after that?
Maybe
Or
for a
before
short
that?
period.
Yeah, like, and she still dated me.
Wow.
Yeah.
After all the stories, everything?
After all the stories.
Wow,
Yes.
sister.
She's like, she
We
felt
need to
pity
talk.
for me. And said, I'll give the brother a chance. And she did. And now she's stuck with me.
That's it.
21
You
years
said it.
later.
Yeah.
21 years.
21 years.
Congratulations.
Cheers to that, you
Married.
guys.
Almost
20.
21. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll be 21.
21 this year.
What did you guys
August.
do for your 20th? Did you do something fun?
Well, we had big plans.
Yes.
And
And
then
then-
we were planning to go to Italy.
Italy.
And it was
then?
either I was going to take my oldest son or Ken. And Ken's like, because he was worried about traveling. And I'm like, I'm
Leaving
going.
all the
There's a
kids at home
sale.
and-
Yeah.
And so we were supposed to go to Italy, and then Italy closed.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
what'd you do instead? Who needs Italy? Who needs Italy?
Right.
Yeah, we did a road trip to Montana
See?
with all our family. Don't recommend that.
Well, on your 20th.
You know, 5 kids. It was
Wow,
packed.
you guys.
It was
So
a full,
from Italy to Montana.
Yeah.
No offense, Montana.
we'll figure
but
something out.
Nice.
We'll
yes.
do a 21st
25th.
or 22nd.
She
Yeah.
gets me every day. It's like she's golden.
I'm seeing some similarities
this,
here.
right?
Yes, yes. So
He's my brother from
had,
another mother.
My wife and I had our 20th anniversary this year.
Cheers
Okay.
to that.
And same kind of thing where stuff was happening in our family and we like didn't get
Yeah.
a chance. And now we're like, okay, well that's a milestone. That's a big deal, man. 2
Yes.
decades.
Yeah.
Like we can't just let that roll by and not do anything. But we haven't put anything in writing yet. But we're
Okay.
kind of in the same boat.
Milling it around.
Yes, and it is different traveling with family versus just being together.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yes.
So
It's very
actually, like
different.
connecting on some level other than like schedules. What do we
Yes.
So
Let's have time
no,
for us.
It's
Yes.
important. So
Yes.
we're trying to figure out how to invest in that wisely because
Yeah.
we do. We want to celebrate
Absolutely.
something pretty monumental. So.
She gets to celebrate being with you. 20 years.
He gets to celebrate. She's mourning.
Yeah, that's right. It's that whole pity thing.
Right, there
you
you
had
go.
pity on me. That's what it was.
I'll take it.
She's
20 years
a
of pity.
beautiful woman. Lovely, lovely woman.
That's awesome.
You guys, you mentioned 5 kids. Tell us about the kiddos.
You can go.
Yes, so we have soon to be 4 teenagers in our home.
Bless you.
Glory.
Yes.
Oh, my
Lots
word.
of hormones and
Oh,
body
man.
odor.
And
Yes.
shoes.
Yes.
Big, you got boys.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
just
Yes.
correlate that with tennis shoes and expensive.
Oh,
yes.
expensive. Yes.
Yeah.
So and
So they're
all
age-
boys.
So 16, 14, and 14 are all boys.
Wow.
Soon to be 13 and 6
And
are
they're the
girls.
Oh, man.
Yes, so big age gap between our once youngest and current youngest.
Yes.
Yeah, 7 years, just about.
Wow.
We thought our nest would empty really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
joke's
felt
on
wrong.
us.
Yeah.
Yes.
This whole faith thing. See what you got into?
Yeah, so we had
Yes.
3 the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
And then we were planning to adopt a girl 3 or under, and we adopted a 5-year-old boy.
Of course you did.
2012. And then our youngest daughter, she came, we were doing foster care. It was respite, supposed to be 3 days. Of
course.
It's now the rest of our life.
Sucker.
3 days turned into
Yes.
a lot more.
Yes,
Wow.
that was that's one of those like, you're pregnant? Right? It's kind of felt like that. This isn't in the
Wait,
plans.
we're adopting?
Yes.
What?
Yeah. So
Wow.
here we are.
man.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh. And Lisa, you work with Christian Family Care.
Yes, I do.
Yes, you do. Lisa took my job
Yes.
over at the agency, and she's new and improved. She's doing it the right way.
Excellent.
don't know about that.
Uh-huh.
Yes, so
That's
just
awesome.
a little over a year.
Yeah, that's so great. And tell us a little bit about what you do with them. Just a little plug. I'd like to give a little plug.
So Christian Family Care really is a Christ-centered ministry, and they're looking to partner with families who are interested in foster care or adoption. And then we also have ministries with mentoring, and we also have counseling, but it's really just to support families and care for children in need.
Yeah, good job. You did that really well.
Thanks.
She's
Trained
got
her so well.
her elevator pitch is down.
Yes, she does.
It's very nice, concise.
Yes.
It's good.
Yeah.
And then, so Christian Family Care, is that something specific here to Prescott, or is it statewide? What is Christian Family
So
Care
it's
thing?
statewide. It started in Phoenix, and now it's also in Tucson and the northern regions.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Okay, I kind of digressed us a little because you guys met, we talked a little bit about kids, but you did things in between there.
Yes.
Before you did Christian Family Care, and we'll talk a little bit about what you're doing now. So what did you guys do in between there? Because I know there was...
So let's see, we worked in ministry together a bit in Phoenix and mostly Tucson for a few years. And then I had a decade of working outside sales while she was earning no money raising our children.
Wow, yeah. So those were fun times.
Yes, she worked hard for no cash. And we came to Prescott in 2013. I came to work in a men's Christian recovery home. Now it's co-ed, but they have a women's program now, I should say. But at the time it was just men's. With a friend of mine I met in Tucson, and 15 years later, we've been talking about it for years. Like, will you come do for the clients what you did for me? And did that for a little over a year, and we're still friends. It's better to be friends. I was like, it's just probably, and now I'll still work with clients and what have you, and we have relationships, and that's been great. And I've been started in 2015, well, part-time in 2014, but full-time 2015, working with what was Prescott Christian Church. And we recently changed the name to Qudacity Christian Church because we're expanding our footprint, if you will, adding campus. And so we wanted to more reflect where we're located and not... you could be Ponderosa Christian Church, but there's no Ponderosa trees in PV unless you planted it. Right. Unless you planted it, it's not there. So I've been there since 2014, and it's on now.
It's going like gangbusters.
Yes, it is. When you say Quad City, for some of our watchers and listeners, they might not know what that means. So they're familiar with us on the show, Prescott and Prescott Valley, but
so then
others.
Dewey Humboldt, and then I'd say Williamson Valley. Those are your four.
Oh, okay.
So that's really where our reach. There's people that come from Skull Valley or what have you. Some people come as far as Cordis Lakes, and so now they only have to come to Glassford Hill Middle School for our Prescott Valley campus. They don't have to come all the way into town. So that's helpful. And then who knows? We figure if we plant in Dewey in 1 year or in Chino, and not like you don't have to go through this change of name, or because you want to communicate, because you already have. I mean, we've been here 100 years, so there's already and maybe an expectation, and so you want to be able to people know, oh, it's that place. Like when you go to, I don't know, Five Guys, the fries are going to be good.
Oh my gosh,
at every place.
Why'd you say that? That's it. That's lunch today.
Is it?
Oh my word.
So we did our first soft launch, meaning in Prescott Valley yesterday, Sunday, the 16th, we did just the volunteers for Prescott Valley.
Okay.
Like, let's make our mistakes on our people.
Yes.
And then we got to see, okay, we need to change this, reposition that. And so we'll do that the next 3 weeks. And then the 20th of February will be the grand opening to the public, if you will, at Glassford Hill Middle School.
Wow, that's exciting.
Awesome. Exciting.
That's so exciting. But you said 100 years?
Yes.
Prescott.
What's the story?
Yeah, I'm like, I didn't know. So the Fanes were here.
Yeah, them and LaGuardia, right? The guy, he was
there. You
go. So it started, on Whiskey Row, Carmela's, that restaurant.
Yes.
It started there. That was the Brinkmeyer Hotel. And it was a Bible study.
Can you imagine what it must have been like 100 years ago on Whiskey Row to start a church?
Yes.
I mean, did Doc Holliday go? I don't know.
He might have been dead by then. 1920. They might have been around.
I don't know.
They could have.
Feeling some remorse, maybe?
Big nose Kate.
Yeah.
Well said. So it started there, and that was the origins of it. And eventually it was, so that was even before 1921. Whoa. That was a little bit, 1918 or so. The Bible study had a little bit of traction.
Do you even know who started that? I mean, is there
not off the top of my head, but we have.
I'm curious.
It's amazing going through the records, the old, like it's just the offering of $1.70 for the week. Like, it's amazing
That's awesome.
the records they kept.
Cool.
And it ended up they met at the Elks Lodge for a while, or Elks Theater, I'm sorry.
Okay.
And then on Willis and Alarcon, it's the Arizona Community Foundation. It's an office building.
Yeah.
That was the first church building that we had, and it was called the Willis Street Church of Christ. And then in the late 80s, either someone gifted or sold to very cheaply up at the end of Mount Vernon, where it becomes Center Highway by the old drive-in.
Yeah.
That piece of dirt, that 5 acres there, in the late 80s. And we've done everything we could do on that piece of real estate to reach people. And we figure we have so many people coming from the surrounding communities. Let's put it, Prescott Valley's already bigger than Prescott. It's going to be much. I mean, we're capped at like 90,000 people in Prescott.
Yeah.
There could be
You
a
got nowhere to
250,000
go.
people out there.
Yeah.
So for the next 100 years out there, that would be fantastic. If we could influence the community, change people's relationships with one another, with Jesus, like that's the objective.
Yeah. Ooh.
So now, coming out of the last 2 years with COVID response and things like that, both areas that you guys work in have been affected greatly. And so not only pastoring a church when everything was having to go online and switching that, growing and coming out of that, but then also with foster care, sort of this weird quiet that came, and now kind of on the back end of that. So what has this been like, and what do you kind of anticipate for 2022 in your area of what you do?
Jeremy.
Yeah, well, I just learned just last week, on average, the state of Arizona per month would have about 175 to 220 new foster families licensed in the state pre-COVID.
And that's every month. They would do that?
Every month.
Every month.
Okay.
Yes. So pre-COVID, that was a great number of families becoming licensed to serve
really
children. Right now, the state is running about 50 families per month.
Massive hit.
Because I think everyone's more on a survival mentality of we don't know what the future holds.
Yeah.
And
as a former foster parent, my mind goes to quarantine, and now those kids with trauma and issues where I have a team of teachers, therapists, kids are going to school. I get a little reprieve. Now they're in my house all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where my mind goes.
Yes.
So I kind of get that.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and then you've had a lot of people who have fostered during those hard years of COVID where they're trying to do virtual visitation and virtual therapies. And so you're having a lot of families close. They've adopted, or they're just tired.
Right.
So Arizona 127 works with agencies like ours, and they're really diving back in to work with pastors about spearheading. Can you preach from the pulpit this need for orphan care? Because the needs are so great.
And so then on that other side, as we've seen kind of the families willing to foster and adopt dropping off, where are we at on that trajectory for kids coming into the foster care system?
So when COVID first came, the numbers dipped down because teachers are one of the number one mandatory reporters, and teachers did not have eyes on children for well over a year. So at the beginning of this school year, the numbers have increased dramatically. And the sad thing is then children go into group homes, they go into shelters that were never intended. And so traditionally, Arizona doesn't want any children under the age of 5 in a group home. And now lots of children under the age of 5 are going into group home. And even our youngest, that became a risk for her. At the time, she was 3 when she joined our family. And if we didn't say yes, the likelihood of her going to a group home was very high.
And then what tends to happen, unless you get reunited with your family, you don't ever get out of that group home.
That's it.
Because they're like, okay, this child is safe. I have other kids coming into the system. It's not like there's an order. Right. You're like, you're safe, you're good. This kid's going to that family where you don't take them out of a group home. So we didn't want a 3-year-old in a group home for the next however many years, a few months, or it's going to get reunited. And we didn't think they were going to get reunited. We're like, we'll do this. So
Wow. That is tough.
Yeah.
It's a big problem.
Yes.
So
Yes.
what can your average bear do to kind of help with that? What can people really get involved in? Like even at the very basic level, like what's something that they can do?
Give your money.
Yes.
Give
Yes.
money.
We'll take your money.
There's
Okay.
tax donations where you can give to Christian Family Care. So that
Yes.
is a wonderful way if people are limited on time. They can still, their tax dollars can go towards that.
Yes, we have the Arizona tax credit, which was new to me moving into Arizona. It is phenomenal. Whoever's brainchild this was, incredible.
Yes. So if you have a tax obligation, let's say
to the state.
to the
To the
state,
state.
Right.
of let's say $300, you can give to Christian Family Care to
Yeah.
fulfill that tax obligation. It's amazing.
It is.
I think too, offering babysitting, whether it's someone has already adopted or they are fostering, coming alongside of them and saying, hey, can I take your children for a couple hours? Is there anything that you might need? Do you need diapers? Can I provide you with a meal? But really being a support to them, because even once you adopt,
Yeah. You get forgotten sometimes.
you kind of get forgotten. You're like,
thanks.
I think there's like this carousel of stories that was running at that very moment in her mind.
Yes, you're
Yes.
like, I still need help.
I know. You were
And
looking
it's
at me when you were
grounding at
saying
times.
that. Do you need me
Well,
to
I
babysit,
know that
Lisa?
you have babysat for people, so
You can
that's
just ask.
yeah, no.
Passive aggressive, sister.
Yeah.
Well, our older kids are getting old enough now that they.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
We don't need it as much now.
So nice.
We did,
Now.
but we don't
Yes.
now.
Yes.
And I would
Go ahead.
I would say more also mentoring, like whether through Big Brothers Big Sisters or the Boys and Girls Club, through your church, a neighbor kid, like just being there, building a relationship with a kid who's in a troubled home. And usually kids in a home with that kind of chaos, they're not well-behaved children. It doesn't make them bad kids.
No.
Right.
But they're not well-behaved because they're chaos internally.
Right.
And so the challenge is you got your poop in a group, your life's
Yeah.
together, and you
Right.
want to invite this chaos.
Woo.
Yeah, do it. Help that
Yeah.
kid so that he's not knocking off the Circle K in 2 years
Right.
or what like that. So that's something, and you have a lot of control over that. It's not like you're bringing them into your home. You're engaging the relationship,
Yeah.
and you can
Get
direct.
to navigate that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
really good.
Those are good ways.
And then Ken, how about you with coming out of just kind of a really very strange way, a new way of doing church and engaging people, but you guys have also seen a lot of growth and I mean expanding into campuses. What do you guys see yourself like in this next year?
In the next year, well, we'll be at the school, Glassford Hill Middle School, probably for 4 to 5 years.
Okay.
There, we do have a letter of intent on a piece of dirt that we want to buy in Prescott Valley. So even if we started building, it'll take a year. We're not under contract. It's just a letter of intent. But it's still, that's 4 to 5 years out. So we'll
Gotcha.
be in the school. We want to be a resource for, first and foremost, for that community, those teachers, those kids. If they're going to, we're paying for it, but we're their tenant.
Yeah.
And, we don't want a tenant landlord relationship where it's like, hey, my thing broke, you got to fix it. It's how do we serve you?
Yeah.
So even like some of the audio visual stuff we've put in the auditorium, it's going to stay there when we leave.
That's really
we
good.
That gets me so excited.
Yeah, we want to. It's a great auditorium, and but for some of the things we want to do, we needed better lighting or this or that. So
Sure.
we want to be a blessing to the school,
That's really
and so we'll be there. And however that yeast works through the batch of dough in that community, we want to help people know Jesus. We want to make more and better disciples of Jesus, because that's the best thing that can happen to anybody, right? And there's a big difference between church life and religion and actually following Jesus. And so if we can help maybe redeem people that have had some of that experience, it's not
Right.
good. And then people that have had no experience with God or none that they would care, that they would count as positive.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
can we help? And then growing in our faith and helping people, period. Jesus is in the people business.
I can get on board with that.
So we're in the people business.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You
Love
have
that.
something.
I
feel
do.
it.
I do, but it's a Raylene thing because he's getting all deep and Jesus-y, and now I'm like, Lisa, can we talk about these men and their the
beards?
manscaping and this? See, that's the level. That's where I'm at. This is
Good.
me. Yeah. So, what is all this, Ken? What are we doing here, brother? What's going on here?
It's easier than shaving. Is what it is. It's easier than shaving.
We're bringing ZZ Top back, or
No,
is the band getting back together?
Kind of the deal is if one of us is sick of it, the other has to sign off. Right.
Okay.
So as long as I got to keep it.
I'm not.
Okay, sister.
All right. I think that's one of the beautiful things of living up here. When you look
Yes.
around, so many men have beards.
They do.
And then I
It's a thing right
remember going to Phoenix and being like, they're all naked.
Because it's 110.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've been doing a decade of outside sales. Like you could have a goatee, like that was it. And so I had a goatee.
Okay.
Because I've got
All
this.
right.
I call it a butt chin. You can't see it.
Oh, the little
big,
dimple?
No, it's a big dimple.
It's
Not
It's
Clark
crevasse.
Gable.
It's yes.
It's the Grand Canyon.
when I had my beard and my goatee trim, I mean there would be
Yeah.
little kids like 5, they'd be like, "What's that?"
Can I put a piece of paper in
So
it?
shaving in there is
Yeah.
a hassle. You're like,
Oh, I could see that.
So
yes.
this is just trim it up a bit. Done.
It's
Done.
fly. Can I
Yes.
say fly? Is that out?
Does anybody
What's
know
the
what
new
that
word?
means?
I don't know.
That's like
Dope.
Was that
It's
in the
dope.
90s?
That's 90s.
Oh, wait, that's a drug reference.
Dopes? No, you can't go there.
I know.
It looks really nice.
Kids these
There
days.
you go. Now you
It looks
sound
very-
middle-aged.
Now it's on middle age.
very nice.
I'm in my vintage old lady shirt today, so
Nice.
I can say that. All right, okay. So I like it. I like the look.
No, yeah.
Well, I
And
like you're working a twist
Yeah.
on your mustache.
I got a little bit.
the
I got a little bit.
wax.
Just it goes two different ways. So there's people at church who are like, "You look like a villain."
Oh, well, you like that. I don't think you would mind
You
that.
do, but I don't think that's bad.
See, yeah, it
Thank
kind
you.
of, yeah,
'Cause then-
suits him.
Yeah, because then people have to make their own assessment. So am I really the
Yes.
villain? I don't know.
You leave us
And then like I
questioning.
have this. She's so adorable. She's this little old lady, and every Sunday she's like, "That is a nice mustache."
My mother loves
Like,
it. She's 82.
Thank you, Adrian.
And she's
Yes.
watching, and she's
Oh, she's watching Jeremy.
nice.
Aren't you, Ma?
So
Yep.
that yeah, it does go one of two ways.
You guys, why do you love Prescott? Why do you stay? And the people, I mean, your heart for people shines through. So what is it about this place?
You go first because I talk last.
Oh, I love it here.
I know you do.
I love the outdoors. I love hiking. And you can walk out almost anywhere, and there's going to be a trail.
Yes.
Big, steep. I mean, you can do Thumb Butte and get a great hike in quickly. But I love the outdoors. I love the 2 degrees of separation that you're going to go in somewhere.
That's a good way to put it.
And
Yes.
and there's inevitably someone you will know everywhere you go.
Yep.
And I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
This is
love
nice.
it.
True.
Especially raising kids. It's like,
Yes.
oh, yeah. You know, oh, you're
There's
the
eyes
maze.
on
You're one of
you.
the maze kids. Ah, okay. Yes.
You're
there's
one of the
a whole
maze
nother-
kids.
Oh, yes.
Preacher kid. Those PKs.
PKs, MKs.
Yes.
Mhm. Yep.
There's a
Those are
reputation.
Those are good reasons. What about, are yours the same?
I have one more
Oh,
too.
okay.
And I don't know if this is a unique thing for our street, but everyone knows everyone by name on our
You
streets.
do have a good
Okay.
street.
Oh,
Yeah.
I always say, I was like, we live on the best street in town.
Yeah. And
I
all
mean-
the kids are always at your house.
And the kids are outside playing
street.
football.
Yeah.
And they're like, car.
Yeah.
Run to the side. Back
so
in.
fun. But you guys have a
So-
zip line. They have an
Ooh,
amazing.
That's awesome.
How far is the drop?
Oh,
40 feet.
yeah.
That's
It's,
good.
Oh, it's
yeah.
like a major.
Because there's a
major
ravine behind our house.
deal.
Oh, that's perfect.
So,
Where are you guys at?
up kind of near Taylor Hicks, up in that, what's
yeah,
they call
okay.
it? Suburban Acres. Not that there's a
I know,
sign.
it's
Salvia
cool.
Drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a cool
We're
area.
kind of, you wind up a big hill.
No
So-
idea that neighborhood was there.
Oh,
Zip line.
it's
That's
a
I think that's
best
one of
kid
my
house.
favorite parts about Prescott. Are there lots of little hidden places?
Mm-hmm.
Like we live off of Old Black Canyon Highway.
Oh, yeah.
And no one knows it's back there. We're super close.
Nope.
You don't hear the highway, but like it's
Yep.
And I think
And
that's
you
one
got
of the
trails.
great things about Prescott. That you do have these little pockets.
See any mountain lions
Yeah.
over there?
You know what? We had a fox through the other day, which
Okay.
was kind of cool. We've had bobcats. I've not seen a mountain lion on our property, but people, what is it, next door?
Yeah.
People post pictures.
neighborhood
And so
app.
about a
Okay.
year ago, we had a mountain lion through, and people were like, freaking out.
So he's there. That's just
He's
happy
there.
to be seen. That's what they do. So
there's a donkey somewhere that way.
There's a donkey.
So every morning you go out to get the paper.
We have a rooster in our neighborhood.
There you go.
If I find that sucker and take it
and
out.
make some wings.
Telling
You don't get that in Phoenix. No way.
That's right. Do you have the same about
It's
Prescott?
pretty similar. I
Yeah.
remember we moved here 2013 that summer in May, and we weren't here very long. And I remember saying to Lisa, I had moved out of my house in like 1993. I'd left New Jersey in 95. So it's been 20 years since I was in my home of my origin. I said, I feel more at home here than I have anywhere since where I grew up.
That's how I feel.
And 300 and some odd days of sunshine, the 2 degrees of separation, outdoor. It takes, 6 minutes to get almost anywhere.
Yeah.
I love it.
I know.
That's really good.
So great.
Yeah.
Those
awesome.
are good. Okay, you guys, I've started ending the podcast with a question. Because I'm going to say it now because I feel like we're going to talk about it a little while. There's 2 of you. If you could get together with anyone, past, present, not Jesus.
Future.
You
Someone
said
in the
it.
future.
Someone in the future. How would you even know that? Who would it be? Who would you get together with? Lisa, question to you first.
Okay, so I am going to say Dolly Parton.
Yes, sister. Cheers to that.
Yeah,
I knew I
well,
liked
here's
you.
the reason why.
Okay.
And I would say there's
love
probably
Dolly.
a few reasons.
Yes.
There's probably a lot of reasons, actually. But she has the book program, The Imagination. Do you even know about this book program?
I learned so much.
Okay, so the Prescott Library, you can go, I think it's called the Imagination Center.
Okay.
She sponsors it. Children from 0 to age 5 get a free book every single month. And so my littlest, I'm reading those books to her every night, and I'm thinking of Dolly Parton. I'm like, because she believed,
Dolly.
early literacy is important for the long term. And so every night when I'm reading stories to her, I'm thinking of Dolly Parton. And then she has one of her own books that she wrote about, what is it? The
coat of many colors.
The coat
Did
of
you see
many
the
colors.
movie?
No.
Oh, there's a movie.
That's her
It's
story.
really good. Yeah. Her
So
story,
then we play the her song that goes with her book.
man.
And so I just think I would sit down with her and I would have some questions.
Oh, that's a good one.
I think she would be fun.
Yes. I'm coming. I want to come on that one. I'm just going to invite myself.
Just go to Nashville. She's probably out there
She's
somewhere.
probably there. Yeah.
So that only really works in one direction. If I'm sitting there reading to my child and my wife goes, "Hey, what's on your mind?" I go, "Dolly Parton." That's not gonna work.
That's not gonna
You're
work.
going to have to do some explaining.
Yeah, there's some explaining
Lucy.
to do.
Got some
but
explaining to do, Lucy.
Good. Dolly Parton. Interesting.
Yeah, that's a good
Very
one.
cool.
All right, Ken.
Can I have 2?
Are they going to be old?
No.
Jesus-y? Okay.
No, they're not.
Then yeah.
So one, Lisa beat me to it. Dennis Prager. Do you know who Dennis Prager is?
Prager
Okay.
University.
Yes,
I
that guy.
just learned.
Yeah.
I just learned about him.
Same initials as Dolly Parton.
Oh, is that what brought him to mind?
No, not at all. But he's phenomenal, right? I mean, a lot of wisdom. I think his show is great. His books are great. And Lisa and our daughter Gianna, bumped into him in the airport in Chicago a few years ago and took a picture and sent it to me.
Because I've seen him on
Really?
his videos.
Recognized his face.
Oh, yes. And even Gianna recognized him, but he's way taller than you would anticipate.
Isn't that
He's
weird?
like maybe 6'3".
Holy cow.
I mean, he's very tall.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known that. Do you know who we're talking
Yeah.
about? Okay, I just
Prager, you.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was new to me.
And he had left his coffee right outside in the terminal.
Did you ask him to autograph it?
No, but Gianna brought him
Because they were on the
his
same
coffee.
plane.
We were on the
they
same
were going
flight.
on the same plane.
Okay.
She's like, "Excuse me, Mr. Prager, you forgot your coffee."
Come on.
And so then when he was on the radio the next day, he described her as an angel
I would agree
coming
with
down
that.
to deliver his coffee.
Yes.
Oh my
I
goodness.
called the show to vent my frustration that my wife and daughter met him and not me. And then he tells the whole audience the story of her and the coffee.
That's
So I
awesome.
did talk to him, but
How your daughter brought his legally addictive stimulant
Yes.
to him. Yes.
so.
That's fabulous.
And then the other one would be, so my mother's parents are both alive still. They're 89. She just turned 89. He'll turn 90 in September. I want to meet his maternal grandparents. That's who raised him.
Okay.
And we meaning that side of the family, we have some nefarious people in our family tree.
Ooh.
Like
Another reason to like you.
like Lucky Luciano, the gangster.
Never heard of him, but I love the name.
Okay.
Yeah.
You could throw out a name like that.
He could.
Couldn't he?
He could.
Gangsta.
And Mussolini.
Whoa.
Yes, is in our family tree. And so
Prager University.
I want to make sure I get the facts right, the connections.
Yeah.
So what it was is Chano, C-I-N-O, that's the last name of my grandfather's maternal grandmother. That was her maiden name.
Okay.
Well, Count Chano was basically the Secretary of State for Italy under Mussolini, and he married his daughter. He married Mussolini's daughter. And then he was executed because he turned against Mussolini, and he gets executed. So I want to know like all the backstory.
Yeah,
like
fascinating.
what my grandfather remembers is her crying, listening to the news on the radio and hearing about him getting executed and her crying because that's her, nephew or whatever he is in the
Wow, my word. I'm sitting next to him.
So I want answers. That's why I want to meet those
know.
people to get answers about our family tree.
Whoa.
Pretty wild.
So
That is
we
cool.
legitimately say we have a little bit of, is mafia Prescott? I mean,
No.
Could we say it?
No,
Oh,
not
okay.
maybe, but not me.
His last name is May.
That's right.
Right.
We
It just
say
doesn't work.
he's
cover.
half part Italian, part redneck.
May.
Yeah.
That's a good combo.
Yeah, May doesn't quite instill the right sense of fear.
No, it
Right.
doesn't.
May.
No.
Yes. I may
Machine
let you
Gun
live.
May.
Machine
Maybe
Gun
not.
May.
Even
I
still.
like that. Those are cool, you guys.
That was really good.
Just think of that dinner party. Dolly Parton, Prager.
And my great grandmother.
That'd be a great dinner party right there.
That would be something else.
That's good. Love
Well,
it.
thank you both so much for being here and for taking time,
Yes.
especially on like a holiday. So I'm sure the
know.
kids
Thank
are
you.
doing whatever they don't do when they're not in school.
Right,
Yes.
and when
But-
they're home alone.
When they're
right
home
now.
alone. Yes, but
With a zip line.
Okay, we better wrap this up. But thank you so much for being here, and thank you for watching. And we just would love for you to subscribe, share this, and honestly, we're going to put links down below. But begin to really consider this thing of foster and adopt. We do have a major issue here, not only in the state. It is an issue across our country. But begin to just consider what you might do to be a part of that and be part of the solution, whether it's financially or if you are being called into something like helping out your neighbor, your friend, just in those everyday things, man. It means a lot to those people to be seen, to be known. So
And if you're
take
looking
a look
for
at
a church, you're going to
Good.
do your launch on February
20th,
20th.
9:30 and 11 at Glassford Hill Middle School.
Come and say hi to Pastor Ken.
Qudacity.church. Just Ken. Like, I don't call you like
Just Ken.
podcast host Raylene, right?
Fake
I don't.
humility.
So just Ken.
Come say hi to Ken and Lisa.
There you go.
And Lisa. But we'll see you on the next time that we get together on Getting Together. Bye-bye.
Bye. Yay! That was so fun.